Hello, Team 5. Today we're going to be doing lesson 10-2, areas of triangles and trapezoids. If we just take a step back to what we did on lesson 10-1, you'll see we did the area of a parallelogram and we used our formula, which is area equals base times height, and area equals 5 times 5, and then our area is 25 meters squared. Now if you take a look here, this is going to help us understand what we're doing today. Here we're calculated the area on a 5 meters by 5 meters, right? So today we've got a triangle. And based on yesterday's formula, it would be 5 meters times 5 meters. But as you can tell, they're obviously not the same area. If you look, this triangle is exactly half of this parallelogram of ours, right? So how do we find half of something? Well, there are two ways out there. I know you know one of them. Yep, divide by 2. And the other one is to actually multiply by 1/2. But the first thing we're going to do, so I'm going to show you, area equals base times height, same as yesterday, but we're just going to divide it by 2. Really simple. Or the other way is area equals 1/2 base times height. And I'm going to show you how to do both ways today. Okay, so our first triangle up, pretty straightforward. All right, we have our base of 2 and our height of 3. So as you should be doing, just as I am, write down our formula, equals, area equals base times height divided by 2. All right. Formula, next I substitute in the numbers. Area equals our base of 2 times our height of 3, right? All divided by 2. Now, a lot of kids tend to forget that divide by 2, especially when they're dealing with triangles. They'll get the first part, but they always forget that second one, so be very cautious. And if we multiply that out across the top, we get 2 times 3, and we get 6. And then divided by 2. Now some of you are like, hey, Mr. K, can I just, kind of do this? Sure. If you can think of that, go ahead and do it. All right, 1 times 3, because that's going to get us our answer, which is 6 divided by 2, which is 3, right? But if you just multiply it across, 2 times 3 divided by 2, and you got 6 divided by 2, and then you did, hey, 6 divided by 2 and got 3, that would work also. Now, that's not just 3, remember. It's 3 meters squared. 3 meters squared. Now, let's go back and just do a what if. What if our triangle was, this whole area was 3 meters squared? How much is the whole shape then? Yep, you got it. 6 meters squared, because this is exactly, a triangle is exactly half of a parallelogram. So to complete that parallelogram, when we cut this into 2, they are 2 congruent triangles, and they're each going to be equal, right? Congruent. So whatever one is, the other is going to be also. So this triangle up here is 3 meters squared also, for a total of 3 plus 3, which is 6 meters squared. Outstanding. All right. Now, let's try one more. This time, if you take a look at problem number 2 here, put that right there. Problem number 2, you can see it has a base of 3, but it also has a height of 3. Now, you know, just like yesterday, your height can be actually outside of the figure. All right, just like we had in our parallelogram. So in this case, we know this is our height because we have the right angle indicator here and it's perpendicular, right? So that creates our height. So this time we're going to use the area equals 1/2 base times height. And area equals 1/2, and our base is 3. And our height is 3. All right, so we're going to multiply all that together. Now, if I take a look at this, I'm going to multiply 3 times 3, I'm going to get 9. So I just solve and keep moving down. Area equals 1/2 times 9. All right, and there's nothing I can simplify here, so we're just going to multiply across. 1 times 9 equals 9, and then 2 times, well, we all know there's implied 1 there. 2 times 1 is 2, so it's 9 divided by 2. Uh-oh, Mr. K. 2 doesn't go into 9 evenly. Guess what? That's okay. And this is when you can take out your calculator, or you can do a little old school just like me. So this says 9 divided by 2. Here's 9 divided by 2. How many 2's go into 9? 4. 4 times 2 is 8. We subtract. We get 1. We can add that decimal now. Decimal up. 0 down. Bring that down. We get our 10. How many 2's go into 10? 5. 5 times 2 is 10. And we subtract. We get 0. So we're left with a terminating decimal of 4.5 or 4 5/10. Okay. And that, of course, is 4 5/10. And our unit of measurement is meters squared. All right. So feel free to use calculator. Feel free to use old school, just like I did. All right. And you'll be just fine for finding the area of a triangle.